Hey, what's up, you guys? Today I'm finally going to be unboxing my 2 editions of Up10tion's first album, Invitation. So this was actually the first album that broke my I will never buy 2 versions of the same album even if they're different concepts rule, which I break a lot now. So thanks, Up10tion, it's all your fault, and it's all Wooshin's fault because he's my bias. And I was so afraid that I wasn't going to get anything, so what I ended up doing was pre-ordering the red version from Yes Asia and then ordering the silver version signed by all the members from mwave. So essentially it is all Wooshin's fault that now I have multiple versions of the same albums because of different concepts, but it's okay. Let's start with the red version. So it is kind of glossy, so sorry about the glare from the window. So it is a navy blue with red on it. Here you go. Maybe see it a little bit better if I tilt it that way. The side and the back has a symbol, same as the front, with the track list at the bottom. So when you open it, you get a list of all 10 member names. This part says Candyland. And I'm assuming because it has a CD plate imprint that the CD plate is right here. So here's the CD plate, blue with the red in it. So I'll just put that back because this packaging is really convenient for that. And then the photo book is a different design. It has the red and the blue theme still, but it has 2 of the circles interlocking. So, I was really excited that they did do 2 different versions for this. Originally, I just bought the red version because even though Wooshin is the 3rd on my ultimate bias boy list, I did have that rule of I'm not going to buy more than 1 version of an album that comes out, regardless of the group. But then I found that mwave was doing a signed version, so I bought the silver version on mwave because I wanted Wooshin's signature at least once, because I only have one other Up10tion album, which is their debut album, but I already don't have any luck pulling Wooshin. So I did want something like guaranteed of his for this album, and it is his comeback album from his hiatus, so I really wanted to make sure that I got something that like showed how important the album was, not just to Wooshin but also to me because he finally came back. And I was honestly so scared that he just was not going to come back, because every time my bias has taken a hiatus from the group, they just don't come back. Just at all. Like, Sully took a hiatus from FX and she never came back. So I thought that was going to happen to him, and because that seemed to be a trend with other groups that were taking hiatuses member-wise, so I was just really worried. So I'm just happy that the group is all back together. I do have a second bias, so I always have followed Up10tion. I just haven't bought anything physical until Invitation since Wooshin left. It was just because I needed a buying break from them for a little bit. And so my second bias that I will end up also collecting, most likely, because of all the releases without Wooshin in them, I just want to have like as a complete collection of Up10tion as I can, so like a photo card from every era of theirs, so it would be Sunyeol. So I did really love the concept that they did for Invitation itself and Candyland. The teaser, I think I bugged so many of my friends about it when it came out with the other guys having the invitations and Wooshin just walking out of the room like it was no big deal. So I did definitely annoy my friends, so sorry guys if you're watching this. I'm sorry that I talk so much about Wooshin. So getting back to the concept more so in this photo book, I really like how they did a contrast of colors. This is more like, I wouldn't say like a monochrome, but it's more like one side of the color wheel, but it's all dark. And the boys are all wearing dark, except for Jino, he's not wearing anything dark. Well, it's dark, but stripes. And then this page is basically the same, but now you have like pops of blue and Wei. Some jacket, looks like it has blood splatters on it, so these ones are more patterned than the other page. So generally, I really don't have any issues with styling. I don't have any questions for the stylists. On Top Media, I usually don't have questions for them. They're pretty good. I do think it's funny that Wooshin came back with his signature red hair. It makes me think of when they debuted and he was literally the boy who was known for having visuals that made him look like Park Bo-gum, and he had red hair. So he was really hard to ignore out of the 10 members. So it's just, I'm just really happy they all came back, and in light of stuff that's happening in K-pop, like, it's kind of like a happy story because they have all their members back. So that's what I'm excited about. I like this background. It looks like streamers. Like, it looks like this was the classroom door that Wooshin came out of in the teaser. It might have been, who knows. But I do like the styling overall for everything they've done. I like the picture quality is really high. The paper quality is nice. It's matte. I personally prefer matte papers to glossy papers just because it's easier to, first of all, film, and second of all, they don't get fingerprints all over them, which is something I've really started to appreciate with some albums who do mirror packaging. I could go on a rant about that for all day. So it's so pretty, but the amount of fingerprints it gets is unreal. And Sunil, so he is my second bias and the one that I will most likely be collecting. So this is kind of a little thing about me, I guess, how I bias groups. So I always pick the first one is usually the guy who actually makes me laugh, or his personality is entirely different from mine. For Wooshin's case, his personality and mine is very, very similar. We're kind of like the friend that, like, is the butt of the jokes at times, but also is the one that, like, takes charge, using that loosely in this situation, because he was basically the face of Up10tion, and I could never be the face of anything at all. I'm way too shy and nervous and anxiety ridden. But when he took a break for his mental health, I totally understood, and I'm happy that he and Top Media prioritized his mental health over anything else. So this looks like it's a group thank you for the album. And then, okay, so these are the individual thanks tos. This is cute. It's in a profile format instead of just a page with a block of text across it, which is what a lot of groups do, like BTS does that now. So this is nice to have them each have their own individual picture. And then you go from, like, Wani, who's like, no, that's B2. Bito, who's like this big, and then Wooshin literally has a line. Just a line, but it's okay. He's been really sincere this comeback. I think it really means a lot to him that the company let him take this break, and then, and then you have Sunil, my other bias, who is like, this much. The difference in biases is real. Here's the last page of the guys. So I really do thank Top Media for just letting him have that break and not making it seem like the end of the world that he was taking a break, or that, like, he betrayed his fans or anything. And Honey Tens really did handle him going on hiatus well compared to some other group fandoms, so I was thankful for that as well. Just because I always get really sad when a member leaves a group, because I just feel like that group will never be complete again. But I don't hold anything against the members if they decide to leave. They go through things that we don't know, and that's entirely up to them. So I'm going to stop babbling because I'm really good at that. So this is the lyric pages. They have all of the songs, it looks like, across with the lyrics here. I did like Candyland, but it wasn't my favorite song on this album. My favorite song was probably Always or Lovesick. I did really like those two. Other than that, like, I honestly have no issue with this album whatsoever. I think it was a pretty strong comeback album, to be honest. So here's a credit page, and then this is new. So usually, like, if you get a lot of SM albums, you'll notice that they always have that pullout ad that has information and then, like, their SM audition. So Top Media was clever and actually put it in as a page in the photobook, so you can't ignore it. So it says the Top Media audition at the top, and then Up10tion's official online. So all of their social media is listed, and that's the end of the photo book. Close that up. So then this does come with a tarot. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce things. So it does come with that. So this is the back. It comes with white for this version. So the back, if you get this version, the back is going to be white. Why are they so cute? So this is who I got for the tarot card for this version. And then you also get a regular, they're calling it the common photo card, I think. The common photo card for this version. Like I said in the beginning, like I literally bought the autographed version because I was almost certain that I wouldn't get anything from Wooshin unless I did that. So kind of happy I followed my gut and did that, but also kind of sad I'm not pulling anything of his, but that's okay. So this is like one of my prized possessions in my collection. I literally have this wrapped every other time, like it's on my shelf wrapped and tucked away safely. So this is the silver version, and it is signed by all of the members. It was from mwave. So here's the cover. The design on this one is holographic, and by that, if you switch direction that the light is on like I'm doing, you can see a rainbow. Woo! Okay. So here is the side. I think you can also see this one a lot better than the other one. So, just so you guys know, when you buy signed albums, sometimes they are a little messy or they don't look as great as the non-signed albums. And that's because when the boys are sliding them across the sign, it happens. But also, packaging, mwave, this is your fault. So when mwave actually sent this to me, this did not come in a protective sleeve at all. So the ink on some of the signatures is actually kind of faded a little bit. Like this one is a little smudged. So some of them are smudged, but it's not a big deal because you can still see everything. But just be aware to kind of be careful where you order things from, because some of them don't package them that great. I was just happy to actually be able to get this. So I wasn't really going to say anything to mwave about it because I know everyone's having so many issues with them now. But, yeah, okay, so moving on. So you get the same list with all of their names. It's basically the same basic format. I'm just going to keep this side up because this is where their signatures are. A CD plate as well. It's just white. Same design. Actually, I think it's a little bit of a different design. And then this has the photo book, which I think I prefer this cover design, which I'll lift it up a little bit so you guys can see it better. This cover design to the red version cover design. So the nice thing is when a group does two concepts, you usually get two different photo books. Sometimes they go a little crazy like BTS does with 4 concepts and 4 different photo books, but at least you get a variety. I have to look at this one a bit more because this looks like it's flower themed, like there's a little flower here, and I do like that. Oop. I always forget to take them out. I'm so sorry, guys. So I might prefer this one to the red version, but we'll see. Usually I can tell when I get to my biases pictures because I'm, well, biased because he is my bias, so we'll see. But I do like the little, like, touch with the flowers. Here's Way. And I think I might like the concept of this photo shoot better. Here's Wooshin. So I do think I like the concept better, and just hear me out. Don't say it's just because I looked at Wooshin and was like, oh yeah, I like this better. That's kind of true. I just like these pictures of him better, but I also am someone who, if you saw my Sunny Summer unboxing for GFriend, I like it when there's like little doodles or pictures added to the photo book when they do layouts like this. So I'm drawn to it a little bit more than the other concept, and that's the real only reason. It also helps that Wooshin and Sunnyul do look good, but they look good in the other one too, so that's not really a deciding factor. Yeah, I like this version more already, just the photo book. So I'm definitely happy that this was the version I ended up getting signed and not the red version. Also, I think the signatures show up a lot better on the silver version. I like this picture. I like it a lot. Like, I really like the contrast with the sky in the background. They kind of look like they're a gang, but... So I definitely like this more, and I know I keep repeating this, but I do like this a lot more than the other one, because I always like open concepts, so like when you can see them outside or something in natural light. I also prefer those. So the silver version is definitely the version that if you would like to buy this album, I would recommend getting based on the photo book. Because the content of the CD is the same, either one. It's just really, if you like a lighter concept, I guess you would say it's the silver one, or a darker concept, which is the red version. And honestly, just like the other version, the pages are really nice quality. So are the pictures. I really love that it's not glossy, so that I don't have fingerprints all over this from just touching them like this. I like the pictures that they chose to use. It doesn't seem like they picked any unflattering pictures for the boys, which is also really nice, because some companies, some picture choices that they do is kind of questionable. So this one has writing on it. It says, "I think I'm lovesick and still with you" on this side. These are unit pictures. And this says mixed signals, which those are titles of B-side tracks on this album. So here is her thanks to from this album. I just really like the layout already. Huge negative space. And then I really just like this layout. Like, it looks like the members got more individually in this version than they did in the last version. And I like how they use different pictures for the thanks to between the two versions. So like the big profile picture isn't the same one in the silver version as it is in the red version. I still can't not stop laughing at how small his thanks to is, but sometimes I find that the smallest, and then my other bias who is obnoxious as hell, so sometimes I find that people who struggle to talk a lot, the smaller words or smaller phrases they do is really sincere, and I don't think people should knock that. Also, like, you could be someone like Sunnyul who can really talk well and thank a lot of people and still be sincere, so I just think it's each person's style, really. I also just noticed that they each page has like a color, like a stripe of color for the boys on it, like that matches their shirt that they're wearing. I like that attention to detail. Thank you, Top Media. So then here are the lyric pages. Like I said, Always and Lovesick are probably my two favorite songs from this album, but it is a very strong album. I still think it's good. Credits, and then the Top Media audition again. I like this color layout a lot better than the other one. So that is the back of that. Let's close this up real quick. And then it also comes with a tarot card, but this one has the black background. So this is the one that I got for this album. And it also comes with a photo card. I like how they did like doodles on the back. So, okay, so I pulled Sunnyul. So at least in one album, I pulled one of my biases, which is nice. So let me just get the other version back up here real quick. here we go. I'm going to put both versions, photo cards, here, just because I don't want to ruin any of the signatures that are here. So overall, I think this is a very strong album. Song-wise, it's a strong album. I liked how it showed the variety that Up10tion can do. I liked both concepts, but I do like the photo book in the silver version more, and that's just my preference. You could like the version in the red version. You could like the photo book in the red version more. I can totally English, I swear. And that's totally fine. Like, it's totally up to you. So the one photo card and the two tarot cards that aren't Wooshin or Sunnyul are going to be put up for sale or trade for Sunnyul or Wooshin in their respective versions. I already have Sunnyul's silver versions, or one of his silver versions, because there are 90 common version photo cards, so I do have to look up how many versions each member has. I'm thinking it's 2, but knowing that it's 90 might be a little bit more. I don't know if they threw in unit versions for them or not. So, like, gotta look that up. They're playing, like, a game of JYP photo card level here. Like, it's ridiculous. So, gotta look that up. But I'm so happy that I actually unboxed these, because these were from, like, way back. Like, my first video, my first haul, this is where these two albums were pulled from. And I can't believe it took me forever to do this. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I do hope you enjoyed.